Hey Snake, have you ever seen Forbidden Planet?
Yes. You know, some things are for some people and not others. I'm others. 1956's Forbidden Planet is a groundbreaking science fiction film about a uh, recovery team or something who goes to this planet where 20 years earlier another expedition showed up and they never heard back from them, only to discover that the lone survivor of this expedition is living with his daughter and his friendly robot, and who explains that everyone else on the expedition got killed by some strange planetary force that has left him and his daughter be. So whenever I see one of these movies, I do look them up afterwards to see if there's any nuggets of info that it's interesting that I can get. Obviously, the golden ticket is the big man himself talking about one of these movies. Hasn't quite happened yet, folks. Calm down. But this movie actually was groundbreaking. I think it was the first movie that had a robot that was a human-esque character rather than just like Beep Boop Man. And another thing that I don't remember. I didn't write it down when I read it. I just went, okay, I went to sleep. But that's cool. Oh man, this movie is boring. There's the thing about sci-fi, especially in this era, where it's kind of fun. Like, you got your characters riding around in a little space cruiser. It's actually a golf cart with the top ripped off and, you know, like a chrome paneling thing. It's black in this movie, whatever. And that's kind of fun. That's charming. That's sweet. It's very cute, fun. And then there's the part where they stand around for 20 minutes explaining the detailed workings of fictional technology, and that's where you lose me. Ironically, that's kind of where this movie reminds me of Death Stranding, if we're talking about like influence that this film might have had on our boy Hideo. It for sure is something that really must have spoke to him. Like these sequence of like, here's this fully realized world of technology, and we're going to go through all of it. And that's sort of what Death Stranding feels like sometimes. And I mean, because I'm playing Death Stranding actually for the first time in hopes to actually be on time to play Death Stranding 2. And, you know, you get these sequences where Dead Man walks into your room to talk to you about how bridge babies work, and it's like, that's fine, I guess. Because I mean, like with fictional machines, it's kind of stupid. You're just like, all right, I invented a car that runs on water, and it works because there's a little wheel that the water goes. It's like one of those fountain things. It makes the wheel spin forever and forever. And it's like, yeah, you just made that up. It's fine. Like, you didn't invent it. Not that this movie's taking credit for inventing it, but it's not an impressive invention. You just made it up. You know what I mean? Do you? Our main character in this movie, J.J. Addams, is played by Leslie Nielsen. Something I found incredibly distracting because of being more familiar with his later work. It's not the movie's fault, but still, I was just like expecting a punchline to happen like every time he talked. Not the movie's fault. But maybe that explains why I found it so dry. So I'm expecting this like a joke every 5 seconds, and nothing happens instead, you know what I mean? That might be why. It's sort of not this movie's fault, is what I'm getting at. This film is also the first, this might be the thing that I forgot earlier actually, this is the first movie to contain an entirely electronic soundtrack. And that electronic soundtrack sounded like the quiet parts of a noise set at a live show. Maybe 3 people in the world who see this video will know what I mean by that, listening to that and being familiar with live noise sets, but understand that I was having Vietnam War flashbacks. Comment below if you know what I'm talking about. I think I've yet to do one of these reviews without having some comment about the social inequality presented by a film. Made a joke in the last war video about having to ask for someone's father's hand in marriage. outdated stuff like that. But it's mostly like tongue-in-cheek. You kind of have to meet movies where they're at from when they're made, or else you can't enjoy anything made before 2017. And shit, I don't even watch movies made after 2000 apparently. And the reason I bring this up is, like I said, usually that's some kind of outdated, like, you can probably hear that, huh? What is he doing? Oh, now he leaves. Great. I'll go take a sip of my soda, and he finally drives the fuck off. Jesus. Okay. He's not actually leaving, he's just revving his engine. Son of a bitch. Alright, so usually this means I'm just like kind of poking fun at some kind of outdated social value. You gotta ask for my father's hand in marriage. Or no, you have to ask for your father for my hand in marriage. You're not marrying my dad. You can marry my dad if you want to. No, my dad's married. Anyway, usually though, it's something kind of like that where you can kind of just look past it and go, yeah, that's what it was at the time, whatever. This movie though, it's actually kind of heinous because it's, your daughter had better stop wearing such revealing clothing, or else who knows what my band of merry men who came out on the spaceship for a year, haven't seen a woman in a year, who knows what they're going to do to her. Which is legitimately heinous. Not to mention this movie follows this weird trope. I don't know the name for this. Comment below if you know what the name of this is, but like in Splash, did I write down an example of this? Because I don't want to talk about Splash. Okay, so this guy is on this planet, and he has his daughter, and it's not clear, his daughter might have been born on the planet itself, or she came to the planet when she was young enough that she doesn't have any memories of talking to people on Earth. So to her, the only people she's ever talked to is the robot, the friendly robot, and her dad, which is fine, but that means she's incredibly naive when it comes to dealing with the men on the ship. One of them even takes advantage of this fact and tries to convince her that like kissing is like a healthy thing that people do, and that you should kiss for good health, and it's really gross. Don't worry, that guy dies in the movie. He dies, don't worry. He gets killed by the invisible planet monster. And I clapped. I clapped when he died at the planet monster. The point is, this girl's so inexperienced with men that she falls for tricks like that, and then becomes somehow in love with Leslie Nielsen. I mean, Leslie Nielsen's a handsome man, but like, what does he see in her? She's basically like a mental 10-year-old. Like, Leslie's cool with that? I mean, like, I don't know what that is called, but it creeps me the fuck out, man. Creeps me out. It's like Splash. I don't know. It's just like the girls who don't know anything about men, and then they fall in love with the first man they run into, and it's just weird, man. It's just real weird. Leslie, not a good look. Anyway, I really didn't like this film. I might recommend it on a pure historical thing, because it's like a first movie with a robot, first electronic soundtrack, first space cadet drinking 6 gallons of booze, or whatever that subplot is. But I did not like this. I'm rating this a Russian ration. I'm gonna kill